Okay, welcome to Patanjali Yoga Meditation. Today we want to discuss what is the first limb of Patanjali's prescription of Ashtanga Yoga. As you know, in our practice part, we have taken up from third to sixth and third to eighth. So we have only 6 steps, but Ashtanga Yoga has 8 steps basically. And very first one is called as Yama. That can be translated into English as how should we interact with others. It's kind of a moral or ethical code of conduct, so to say. And of course, somebody could say that this is the first thing we should have studied, being first limb of Ashtanga Yoga, you know. But I postponed it for so many weeks because I am quite confident that as you practice meditation, you naturally adopt all these things. So let's look at it in a formal sense. So he has listed 5 elements in this group of Yama. So the Sanskrit terms are Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacarya, Aparigraha. So English translation, this is translated very often by others as non-violence, but sometimes you may not be violent, but you may still hurt somebody. So I think the better way to translate it as not to hurt anybody. And that also is going by thoughts, word, and deeds. So, you can hurt somebody by speaking some, that kind of words, or of course by deeds. And also it is a good idea not to hurt somebody even at the thought level. So if at thought level you don't do that, then it won't come out, it's less likely to come out in words and deeds. So that is ahimsa. Satya is truthfulness, that you want to do what you have said and you want to say what you mean. So harmony in your thoughts, words, and deeds. So because these are action oriented, how am I interacting with others? I am translating it from that point of view. Otherwise, the term Satya has very wide connotation. Any truth, like a scientist or philosopher, or even a common man, a layperson, is always wanting to know the truth. So that is a knowledge dimension, but we are now looking at this term Satya in action dimension. So knowledge and action are our 2 primary functions. And I am interpreting the term Satya in the action related. The third is Asteya, not to steal, not to take away anybody's belongings without the owner's permission. That is very obvious. And fourth is Brahmacharya. This is translated widely as celibacy, but I would translate it as not to harbor lust in our mind. So, in other words, what I am saying is like when you get married, you want to conceive a baby. That is all very valid uh, thing. The fifth is very unusual, where if you have gone through all these codes of conduct, then he is saying aparigraha. That means not to collect or hoard things beyond your legitimate needs. So this is a bit unusual. If you are honest in your life, if you are not hurting anybody, you don't steal, you have no lust-like elements, then why should you not be allowed to make millions of dollars? And what is wrong in that? Many houses, many cars, or whatever it is. But then Patanjali is trying to suggest us it's good to have material wealth to the point that it meets your need. So, like common man says, the earth has enough for billions of people's needs, but not even one person's greed. So, this is that kind of a thing, which, of course, in our day to day life, we know it. If you have too many things in your household or in your wealth accounts, etc., then you have to worry about that and their upkeep. And also, if you have a lot of money, you want that to grow fast. So you want to invest and multiply. So if all that is there, that occupies your mind, then Patanjali Yoga is not a very valid idea for you if you are so much immersed in material wealth. So if you have just what you think you need, that is enough. Then I am just making a comment here. These are our Vedic rishis. When they choose a word that has a very specific meaning, and also sometimes when a group of words are there, their sequence has a lot of meaning. So these five, you cannot list them in any other order. They have to be listed in this, which means Ahimsa has the precedence over other four elements. Or let me just give you, for sake of example, Ahimsa and Satya. You know, there is a metaphor of a cow is running, and you have seen that at one corner it took a right turn, and then a butcher is coming and he asks you, where did you see the cow? So if you tell him the truth, then he will go after the cow, and that innocent cow, for no fault of hers, gets killed. So there is the person who has been asked and who is a witness, he is in a dilemma. If he tells truth, then the cow gets killed. And if he cares for ahimsa, then he has to tell a lie, speak a lie to that person. So such things happen in our life. So Patanjali's this sequencing means ahimsa takes precedence over satya. So what he will say is that man ought to misguide the butcher so that that innocent cow animal is not killed. So that is an example what I mean by the sequencing. So ahimsa has precedence over satya. They too have precedence over asteya, then over Brahmacharya, then over Aparigraha. And just as a justification, why I postponed this first limb of Yam for so many weeks, because I am very confident what we have discussed previously in one session when we said meditation practice is like climbing uphill. Then I quoted this is from Vyasa's statement, Yogain Yoga Pravartate, this kind of a thing I have shown you. What it means is this is a theory and practice go hand in hand. So as you are practicing yoga, this is the first time you learn the theoretical aspects of yoga. And also as you practice yoga, you get more proficiency in the practice aspect of yoga. So yoga has both the disciplines, theory and practice. And as you practice it, so you will see, and I am sure you are also aware of it, in my so many years of teaching, I have met some students, somebody, their lifestyle issues have changed. So suppose somebody was eating meat or whatever in the context of ahimsa, I didn't tell him on the first day that you should give it up. But after a few weeks, the person himself reports that he has no more inclination to eat meat or those kind of diet things. So that's where we can conclude today's discussion. And I say thank you very much for joining me today. And we'll meet again next week. Have a good time until then.